Shocking is the topic for today.
You know what? I'm shocked at the low attendance. I'm sad. I'm
Oh, come on.
hurt.
They like to let us do our, back and forth banter, and then they'll come on. Most of everybody will come on like at 2:15 when we're done.
Right.
Shots at each other. So,
well, let's talk about why I picked Blinded Me with Science as our theme song today.
Let's do it.
Because today on the back half, friends, we're talking all about AI. AI, agent intelligence connected to artificial intelligence, because we need a little bit of help with that. No matter what you
have used it so far. How many of you on the call have used AI like the GDP? Yes, please help me.
The chat GPT. That is a difficult one to say. Say it 10 times fast. You can't, just like I couldn't say, what was the word I couldn't say today? A lot of them.
Proprietary.
Proprietary. Still struggling. It's
and we're talking AI today. Curious, how many of you, please put in the chat, have used AI for writing an email, for posting, for a comment, for anything? Yes. Love. So I just tried it for the first time, like maybe 2 weeks ago. I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? I was blown away by what I put in there for what I was looking for and what I got as the response. I did have to modify it quite a bit, which you should, right? You should have to put your own personal touch. But I was blown away by it. Anybody else just blown away by it? It's just me.
I have mixed feelings on it. As somebody who has worked in the tech sector for a long time, I am very hesitant, and I'm going to give you all that you need to know on the second half of this call. So make sure you stay on, because
that's Frank. How did the listing comment come up? Like you said, you used it for remarks. How did it come up? Like, was it good? Did you use it?
I did. I used it, and then I put in some of my own stuff. But the hardest part of listing a house to me is writing remarks. And it's just that initial sentence, and it was like, wow, this is beautiful. So I can't complain. It set the tone exactly the way I wanted it.
I love that, because when I first got into real estate, I bought a book of like words to put, like just words to use, and I would always go in, and I always use the same one: gleaming hardwood floors. Like just the normal silliness, and I think this changes the game to give you a little more, I don't know, oomph behind your comments sometimes, or your remarks. So thanks for sharing. Frank.
Yeah, I think we get stale, right? And we'll talk about this more. It's so easy to get stale in this world where we write the same things over and over. We hear the same message, but if you're going to take anything out of this, it's that it's just a way to get us into conversation, right? We have to be very careful. And without giving too much away about the second half, why don't we get into our growth call content? Or even before that, how many of you were at Mega Agent Camp? Who was at Mega Agent Camp? I saw you, Chris. I finally got to meet you in person. Cassie was there. Tiffany was there. Melissa was there.
You feel bad?
I am. My brains are still like scrambled eggs. This is one of those Mega Agent camps where
here we go.
Wow. Yeah. And we got these gorgeous millionaire real estate agent playbooks. These things are fire. These things are so good.
I think we should start it off with where Mega Camp started off on Tuesday, right? After they did the economic update, which I will put the slides in the chat, I'll pull them up and put them in the chat for the economic update. They started it off with a video, which I'm going to find on YouTube right now because we need to play it.
The crying one? Okay, fine.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to find it and we're going to play it. How many of us have been in the business for the last 3 years, or even the last 2 months, 6 months, and it's a hustle, right? It's a hustle. We're hustling. Well, that video, which I will track down unless that's what you're doing right now, Brooke. It's on the KW YouTube channel. So we moved from that to culture and community. That was the first statement, right? And everything that was shared on the screen and from our top producers and from our leadership in the MAPS coaching community was all about culture and community and how do we need to hustle? Yes and no. Because if we build a great community and a great culture, people will come to us. And one thing that Cassie, Brooke, and Jen didn't get to see was during MAPS coaching training, they had this great acronym called BOOM, right? Because they asked the question in that if you had two options, and everybody play along with me, if you had two options, option number one is you get a piece of business, 25% referral fee, it was guaranteed business, or number two, you found out about an opportunity and you had to hustle and get that piece of business. Which one would you choose, one or two? Somebody answer for me. This is the interactive,
I'll say one.
right? So Tyler was the person who was presenting, and what he said was there's actually an option number three. And option number three is people coming to you. And he used the acronym BOOM because we love our acronyms. And BOOM was, what's your backstory? What were your obstacles? What were your opportunities? And what is your mission? Right? So if you shared your backstory, which many of us have a backstory that we don't think we want people to know or understand, and yet who else would appreciate, would understand, would be like, great job from getting where you are. So that backstory of who you are as a person, and then the obstacles you went through and you broke through, and the opportunities it gave you. And now because of that, my mission is, people will believe in that and they will want to move forward with you because of who you are as a person. And I was like, well, I can go home now. That's all I need to know.
So I
Right.
have that video. I have that video. Does everybody have a tissue ready? I looked over and I was like, why am I bawling like a baby?
Before you do that, Tiffany, it was boom, backstory, opportunities, obstacles in my story. I just want to make sure.
No, it was backstory, obstacles, opportunities, and then mission.
Mission. Got it.
Tiffany, would you put that in the KWNE Growth Call Facebook group for our friends later when we're off this? That'd be awesome. That way we all have access to what we need to know. All right, should I roll it?
Let's do it. Roll the footage.
Oops, hold on. It knocked me out here when somebody's joining. Basic, desktop 2, share sound. Yes, I have to talk myself through it. can I tell you, there wasn't a dry house. Everybody bawling, looking for tissues because it did not come during when we usually have like the cultural things. This was a gut punch from the very beginning at Mega Asian Camp.
And the point behind it is, why are we truly in business, right? Like, why are we truly doing all that we do?
All right, let's shift from that.
Oh yeah. I will make sure that link is out in case you want to make anyone else in your life cry.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. Whew. All right, let me pull up all this stuff. Oops, I think I actually exited out of everything instead of, let me just pull up our growth call stuff. GC.
Like Brooke's doing that, Cassie, was there anything that you saw that you just were like, wow, I need to go back and share this?
I just like to reiterate, I love how they're doing the playbooks and the one pagers. Every single person that was on stage on a panel did a one page to their business. So whatever they were speaking about on the panel, you could take that and easily go implement that into your business. So I think the biggest thing, and I always like to stress this during trainings as well, is that no matter what you're attending, however you're spending time on these meetings, make sure to take one thing away from each meeting and each training and go implement that into your business. There's always overwhelm, especially like Mega Camp Family Reunion, these massive trainings. There's so much information. You take all these great notes and then you go home and you don't do anything with what you've learned. Make sure to spend that time in your calendar. Pick one thing and just go ahead and implement that into your business. And doing those small changes over time is really going to increase your business.
Yes, take action. All right, let's get into our growth call. We missed you last week. We missed you. I felt a little empty on that. I was like, I'm missing something on a Monday. We are continuing with lore, but before we do that, Tiffany, do you want to talk about what's remaining for August when it comes to productivity coaching and what's going on in your world? Yes, I will zoom in. I know the rules.
So essentially, for those that are busy during the day, we have our Tuesday and Thursdays evening sessions. And right now we're in the middle of 6 personal perspectives. And then we're going to go into 36-12-3. And for those that don't know, 36-12-3 is 36 transactions, 12 months, 3 hours of lead generation. That is what that stands for. So if you are looking to amp up your business, join us during those times. As far as during the day, our workshop classes on Mondays, we're doing want to learn a great lead generation. We meet you where you are. They're 15-minute snapshots. I take a look at where your business is, and then we assign an action item. You come back when you've completed that action item. And that's the same thing with working your database for conversion and the accountability. So join us during the calls. We are excited to see you there.
And they're so much fun. They are so much fun. All right, back to our content. Remember, they are bookmarked. If this is a new growth call for you, here's how it works. Every week, we give you 3 posts that are engaging and human with heart. These are not meant to replace things like your market stats or properties you have coming live, but it's meant to make you more human and get more engagement. Stuff like this takes time, right? Stuff like this takes about 6 months to get going because people need to see you, believe you, and feel that you're being authentic with the messages you're putting out, not just pushing out a post. You can find it in the growth call. It is also emailed to all KW New England associates every week after the call. So I can't believe it's August 27th. That's like, ugh. So we are continuing on our language of real estate. So we are calling this lore, not lore like how do we talk about the numbers, but language of real estate for our clients and social media. One of the things we're getting back for feedback on this is agents are seeing that they are getting thank yous from people on their Facebook that they're enjoying hearing about the real estate side of these definitions because they did not know these. Even some of our own internal associates who are not licensed didn't actually understand some of these terms. So keep putting them out there as we go through the entire alphabet, or as many alphabet words as we can find. So this week we are going into mechanics lien. Has anybody had to deal with one of those recently on a home? Right. So that is when an owner fails to settle payment with someone who did work on their house. The subcontractor or whoever did the work is able to put a lien on the title. So make sure you're working with your title companies on this one. But this is a great one to get out there to talk about it. Jen, anything you want to add?
No, it has definitely come up in the years that I've been in real estate that these things pop up kind of sometimes last minute. Sometimes if you check the deed when you first list the property, yet somebody sees that it's actually listed, they will go to the town or city hall and place a lien on the property if they haven't gotten paid for their services. So it's just always something to be very aware of and be as proactive as you can with it.
Wow. Wow. When they see it's listed. Wow.
Yeah. Well, now that they know that their money could
Right.
show up, they go and
I would think they'd be proactive and put it when they don't pay. That's never heard that. Fascinating. Oops. I'll update that before we go out. Imagine a world where money is no obstacle and you can choose any place to spend your dream retirement. Comment below where your absolute dream retirement destination would it be a cozy cottage by the mountains, a beautiful villa, or a charming city apartment? Before you guys copy and paste that, I will fix it. It did not come over from our other document correctly. So why are we talking about retirement with our clients or our people on Facebook? Why? I'm going to come off of sharing so I can see you guys. Why would we talk about that? Just come off a chat.
Motivation to sell.
Motivation to sell. What else?
Equity in their house, so they would need to downsize, quote, right size.
I love that term, right size. What else? How about sometimes people don't even think about retirement because they don't know how close they are. This is starting the conversations on wealth building. You've seen all over New England, we talk about wealth building at a high level, right? So this is one of those. Let's talk about wealth building because the people in our world might not be doing that for
Can I
others.
jump in there for a second because
Absolutely.
it's a great opportunity to throw in that we have a wealth building workshop coming right to our region in October. So this is something that you could send a client to. If you put this post up and they're really interested in learning more, give them the opportunity to go to this course. This is a course that we typically would have to fly to Austin to get. It's an all-day workshop. By the way, it would cost you over $1,000, not including flight, to get to Austin. So here, we were able to bring it to our region October 26th, an all-day event in Woburn, Mass. And it's only $350 for the ticket. So this is a great opportunity to use what our resources that we have for you and your clients. Maybe raffle a ticket off with this post, or it's an investment into your business.
And I saw somebody posted this a while ago, but it said, did you know you may be able to retire 5 years earlier with the equity in your home? And it was from a financial company. It was like not a Charles Schwab, but it was like a smaller and, personal wealth person near us. And I was like, I'm going to put a post out for our agents for this one day. And that's where this came from. And again, we're trying to say money's no obstacle. So what do you do if somebody says it's my dream to retire to South Carolina? What's one of the things we're going to do? What's one thing you can do?
Connect them with an agent in South Carolina.
Look at the real estate in South Carolina.
What else can we do? This is part of my forward with monthly neighborhood nurtures, added to their neighborhoods of monthly neighborhood nurture, dig deeper with them. Oh my goodness. I know some people who have recently been down there, and I recently met someone who is an agent down there. Where were you looking? There's so many great parts. And then when they give you the area, you go in and you add one town in that area to their monthly neighborhood nurture and let them get curious. Let them get curious. And when they ask you, you say, remember when you told me you want to retire? Thought you'd love to see what the real estate world is doing down there. Monthly neighborhood nurtures. All right, we've been pretty controversial in our this or that Thursdays. They are my favorite. So this week is all about tours. I had the pleasure of bringing a regional guest around Boston one day. He was fascinated by all of the history New England has. And it made me think, what would you do if you had a choice? Because I am out when it comes to anything spooky. So New England's filled with history, and our region is picture perfect when it comes to tours. Most places are. So for this or that Thursday, which would you pick? A nice historical walking tour or a ghost tour? And then ask for bonus points on ones you've been on recently that someone can recommend. So in the chat, are you the spooky ooky type? I am not. I do not like to be scared. Just so you know, you won't get me on like haunted hay rides. I'm a big chicken. Did you know that, Jen? I'm a super chicken.
Yes, you scare easily.
I do. I don't watch horror movies if it's got the things that jump out at you. Yep. See, we've got some ghost friends.
Just comboed it right there.
They do.
Tours have the most interesting history. I think you're right. I went on one in Newport, Rhode Island, and I didn't make it all the way through. I checked out halfway through. Like I'm done. This is too much for me. This is too much scary information. On to me.
Yeah, I will be haunted by it. I will not sleep for a week. Like I am, like even certain kids things, like Tales from the Crypt when we were little. Nope, not a friend, not a fan, not gonna do it. Enjoy your time. I'll meet you at the bar after. Okay.
I will
So
tell you the mansion tours. If I were to pick one on here, I would do a third option, which would be the mansion tours here in Newport. If anybody has come to Newport and hasn't done a mansion tour, come back and do it because it's pretty amazing. I see George shaking his head. He must have come here before and he didn't call me. Just saying, it's okay. I know you have.
You know, they're fun. I've stayed at the Viking, which is gorgeous in Newport, and we went on, and it was near was it Christmas time? We went on like and saw a whole bunch of mansions too. It was so much fun. So much fun, but no ghosts. We don't do that.
Jen, you're in Newport?
Yes.
I was born and raised there. My family's still there.
No way.
Yeah, way. Yep.
Come back and come see me. No. She's
No.
like, Florida
No,
is
she's
where
warm.
my jam is.
She's warm.
My mom's the same way. My mom lives in Florida now, and she's like, I have to like beg her to come up for 2 days. I get it, kind of. All right. Great job, Brooke. We are at the end of this portion of the call. Brooke's gonna continue on with the AI conversation and playbook. Yet Cassie, I think you have a few things that you'd like to share as well.
I do. Can you hear me okay? My computer keeps freezing. So I'm still trying to get the links, but we have a ton of great stuff coming up this fall. We have Zach Younger coming in from California teaching Train the Presenter and Train the Trainer advanced workshop. So if you like training in front of your market center and want to get better at it, all the way to if you want to become a KWU approved faculty member, these are the steps where you start for that. Also, we have Jason Abrams coming in. So hopefully you guys saw him on stage through Family Reunion. His energy is great. He's brilliant. He's one of the authors of the MRE playbook that Brooke was mentioning earlier on the call. He is coming live in person to our region on September 28th. And we just will be announcing this week that we're actually, so Jason will be here from 9 to 12. And we're announcing this week that we're going to be doing something a little extra from 1 to 4 later in the second half of the day. We'll have some panelists and some more great information. So be sure to block that day and get your tickets. We are also having Brett Tanner coming in doing KW Wealth, as Jen had mentioned. Tickets in Austin are $900 plus your flight, plus your hotel for that travel. So it's about a $2,000 to $3,000 trip, depending on how you fly. But you can come and get that same exact training right in New England for $399. We're also doing a special promotion where you can attend both of those events and save $150. So if you want to get to both of those, if you've already registered for one and want to attend the other, reach out to us and we'll get you registered for both at the discounted price for $500 for both events. And then our last major training we have for the year is Antoinette Perez. Who here knows Antoinette? Has anyone done a class with her before? She is absolutely incredible. So we have a limited space training with her in December over, I believe, at Jen's Market Center called Fierce Conversations. So no matter if you're in leadership or an agent, those conversations apply to any business. And she is incredible. So I'll be throwing those links in the chat shortly. Oh, and along with all of our training, we have to give a gift away today, a prize.
Yeah.
So we are giving away $25 KWNE cash that you can use on any of those 4 trainings that I had just mentioned. And today's winner is Maureen Hogan. Maureen, are you on a call?
On mute. I'm here.
Hi, Maureen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. I will reach out to you after the call with all the info so you can sign up for any of the trainings if you would like.
Okay.
Other than that, have a great Monday, everybody.
Thank
All
you.
right. Stay on. Stay on. Stay on. All right. We're going to pause. Don't go. I see you. No, where are you going? We're talking AI. I'm not going to do it. I'm just kidding. I'll do it.